Good morning. Casey Boespflug, Operations Section Chief for the Alaska Incident Management Team. This is the operational briefing for the Creek Fire, November 6, 2020. Again, we got two main operations going on the fire out here. We'll start off with the first one, which is suppression repair. We got a large amount of line, about 600 miles of suppression repair line out there to continue to repair in branch, what we're calling branch 19, which is the whole west side of the fire. Things are looking really good out there. They've made a lot of progress moving north, and then from the southern portion moving to the north. And those two groups moving together and going to meet in the middle. We also are tracking weather, a front that's going to be moving through, and so in front of that there's going to be a lot of wind, high winds predicted up to maybe 50 miles an hour up on the really high peaks. With that comes some extreme hazards to firefighters out there, and that's hazard trees falling. So we've been cleaning up a lot of hazard trees around some of these drop points, the campgrounds, along the roads, travel routes, for firefighters and for the public. With that too, they're really narrowing the gap in there for the suppression repair, and they're going to be starting moving resources down towards either Auberry or Echo in anticipation of this weather event that's coming in for the suppression repair. Moving around the rest of the fire down on the west, we'll be finishing up suppression repair in this western portion of the fire, and accessing equipment that won't be needed in there. Moving around towards Shaver Lake, Huntington Lake, Rock Creek area, and into Kaiser Peak. Continuing to do suppression repair in there. The Rock Creek area, they're going to continue to do as much as they can this morning, but they're going to be moving equipment down in anticipation of this weather event too. We don't want to get people stuck in here. We don't want to congest the roads, and we also don't want to have some sort of accident with this weather coming in the early part of it. There'll be high winds again, and so there's the threat of hazard trees, and then also, behind that would be the weather with moisture, potential snow, and ice. And so we're looking at moving equipment down the hill from that. Into Huntington Lake, same thing. We'll be wrapping up a few things in here, and then moving the majority of the equipment down in anticipation of the weather event. Up in China Peak, all the resources that we had out at Echo Hot Springs have moved down into China Peak, and we're continuing to do work up in this Sample Meadows area, the Kaiser Peak Road, and then also up towards Vermilion and Lake Thomas Edison, continuing to do suppression repair in there, and also monitor and mop up anything that has heat in it close to the line. So moving on to Lake Thomas Edison, we did put black on the map here, so we're really confident on our suppression efforts out in there. Our containment percentage didn't go down, and that is because we're still getting growth up in here in Division Mike and all the way around towards Madeira Peak. So we're still getting a little bit of movement up in here, and so that's why our numbers didn't go down, but we do have solid black in here around Lake Thomas Edison. And I did mention Echo Hot Springs. It should be Mono Hot Springs is where the folks have moved down into China Peak. And then the second half of our efforts is going into the suppression itself of the fire. And so with the wind event and weather event that's coming in, there's going to be some high winds in front of it. We all know what that could mean. It could mean new starts and new fires. And so we're helping out with the Sierra National Forest and CAL FIRE for any new starts in the area. So we're going to be assist with that with pretty much all around the entire fire with our resources that we have out there. We also have a couple crews, hotshot crews and squads and engines up in Mammoth. Keep an eye on this. The fire activity that's in Pond Lily Lake, Fish Valley. The fire has progressed towards Pumice Butte up in here, and running some models as there is potential for the fire itself to continue to move in this direction. However, with the event that's coming in, those models are showing the fire progressing today, and then at the end of today, pretty much hitting a wall is what it's gonna most likely do with this weather coming in. And we can describe this event coming in as an extremely high probability of a season slowing event, and there also could be a possibility of what we may get out of this could be a season-ending event up in this area, just because of the high elevations, the amount of snow that could occur out of the system. But we're keeping an eye on this. We have folks out here to assist with any needs that we need to up in that area, and so we feel really confident what we have and what the models are showing and what our incident meteorologist has given us for moisture that could come in up in that area. With that, have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you.